Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a map from a creator. As soon as I saw their name, I stuck this map straight on the schedule. I am a little bit of a fanboy, very excited to see them releasing this. When you consider that their last map was one of the most iconic maps of the year. Do you remember Blade Mountain? What a great map that was. The thing was, that was over 2 years ago. Yeah, the return of a creator today, and I'm really excited for it. I'm also very excited to show you these two new mug designs that I promised I'd show you on Monday. Here we are now on Wednesday. One for Merrickstowe, my very first map there, and then another one with St. Catherine's Point on it. Looks very much like that. And there's also one for BonBon Island as well, where little teasers coming there. Now, I'll also, if you ask me very, very nicely indeed, put your map on a mug as well. So there's all of that, all of the possibilities. All you have to do is ask me very, very nicely and park with a little bit of dollars, just a little bit of dollars. Now it's my turn to ask you very, very nicely to do something for me. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit bigger, larger every single day. I forgot my words. Today's map is Hrothgar's Folly by dbrooksjr. Thank you and welcome back, dbrooksjr. Yes, Blade Mountain, what an iconic map. There's your start square and lots of buildable space there. Cannot grumble with that at all. Plenty of water as well to get hold of. We've got terrain heights that look very buildable in the middle of the map and a few interesting mountains around the outside and a great waterfront. Resources, a little bit patchy, but definitely usable. No complaints there from me either. And then if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we have all of the varieties there as well. So big scores all around so far. Off to the workshop, what do we need? Well, no DLC is required today. There's a few things to subscribe to, including a castle ruin and network extensions 2 is in there as well. We're using the Not So Rocky Hills map theme, and Relight is added as a requirement and no LUT is prescribed, so we're going to use the Relight average LUT given as it's a top listed one. Obviously a really good description there as well, gives you the backing story. Not that you need to read it, but it's there and it's well written, very well written indeed. Off to the one-click collection, a few things to subscribe to there, including a few decals which I have added, but I forgot to subscribe before recording this footage. We'll be using the Not So Rocky Hills map theme and the Relight average LUT. Sorry, I'll get my words out. A few extra bits in there like the ruined farmhouse and the castles without trees as well. Always very nice to see the vanilla trees removed from some of these vanilla assets, re-uploaded. There are multiple occurrences of these vanilla assets on the workshop, and with the trees removed, including I've done that with the abandoned house for my own personage. Finding them when you need them is a difficult thing sometimes, but yeah, they are there, so something to look out for. Anyway, down to ground level at Hrothgar's Folly by dbrooksjr, and we have this very nice highway that goes into a tunnel over here. We'll talk about this tunnel in a moment. I question the need for this tunnel, even though very clearly it's needed to go through this mountain. It emerges over here very cleanly. Again, the standards are good, and a very nice standard intersection here. It's going 3 ways, like so, looping quite neatly. I'm quite happy with the pillar work as well. Just about. Okay, I know a few of you looking, you're going, what? Yeah, just about. Only just. Then we have another tunnel over here, which then emerges over here, heading towards the big old bridge. Not that, the big old bendy bridge. The thing is, if we look over this way, just up the shoreline a bit, there's that other highway. So they spent a lot of money digging 2 great big tunnels, when I feel that maybe they could have connected by an intersection over there, that route, or maybe just gone through the other route and then connected it back that way. One of those tunnels isn't really needed, in my opinion anyway. The big old bendy bridge is big and bendy. There's both of those things, but it's a lot of fun. Actually, that is as bridges go. I found that one actually quite entertaining and quite happy to roll with. A little bit of extra detailing going on here. The rocks adding a bit of support to these pillars, and that's good. That is good. I will ask the question, why do we need those rock supports over there and not on the big old bridge over here? Or the big old bridges over there for that matter. It's nicely done. Oh, hang on, we've got an abandoned... notice also we have this abandoned road going up to the broken bridge. This is obviously the old bridge. And yeah, that's quite neatly done as well. Like to know where this road originally went off to, so maybe a bit of more of a clearing for that road through the trees, maybe going up that way. Does look like it was going up the hill somewhat, possibly, but yeah, I'd like more of a hint as to where the original course of that road went. As it looks, it just looks like a set piece rather than something that was actually integral to the map before being replaced by the big old bridge. Does kind of align with the old tunnels, or the tunnels over there. So maybe there was an old tunnel over here which they've expanded to put the big tunnel through, I think. Probably makes some kind of sense to me. Emerges over this side here, and now we're heading in towards Start Square territory, which is good. We've got, again, good clearance over the rail lines there as well, and a nice trumpet intersection here leading down into the Start Square. So anyway, let's very briefly talk about that abandoned road that led up to the broken bridge. Notice how we had trees on it, and that is through having Anarchy switched on. It allows the detailers to have trees showing through like abandoned roads and that kind of... It allows for clever detailing and very nice intersection going on here. So clearly, for me, this map has to have your Anarchy settings set on. That's the one, not sweat on. Please don't sweat on the Anarchy settings. You kind of got to have the Anarchy settings set on to have the trees showing through, to get the full blast of that. But then that leaves me with a bit of a conundrum, a little bit of a conundrum. And that is this next intersection, which is a nice little alternate start location, not Start Square, but there is a very nice buildable space over here. But look at this. We have trees clipping through on the intersection. We have trees clipping through into the actual buildable location up the route there. And so for me, what I think has happened is they've decided at the very last minute, do you know what, I need to do an intersection over here just to open up this part of the map, and forgot to clear the trees. Because you'll notice, same with the rail over here. Trees on the rail here, just here though, as with the highway over that way. We get, and again, the junction, trees all over the junction, but when we get onto the main line, onto the main route, nothing. It's all beautifully cleared. A slight bit of catenary issues with the catenaries just touching the rails there. Most people won't care about that, but I point these things out because it's only fair on the creators that I've already criticised. For it's got to be done, hasn't it? It's got to be done. So anyway, yes. So yeah, there's no trees on the highways, no trees on the rail, apart from that one location. So yeah, I think it was a late addition to the map. I think that the map is supposed to actually have tree detailing showing through because of the abandoned bridge. Looks very much like it was deliberately put there for that purpose. And so, yes, I think we have to say, oopsie, dbrooksjr. Oopsie. That's not what I expect from you. You're much better creator than this. But yes, yeah. But while I'm bigging up Blade Mountain previously, yeah, do check that one out. Episode 565. It is just one of those maps that you know you want to build on. Big city map as well, with a really iconic mountain down by the waterfront, just jutting up, and it's just an iconic map. It's just one of those that I just, as soon as you saw Blade Mountain, I remember it. I remember it so well. I remember the full layout of that map. Won't remember the full layout of this one, but never mind. We'll have a look at more of this map straight after the intermission. We'll check out the fishing, the shipping, not the fishing, the shipping, and the water flow, of course.
Do you have trouble building on steep hills? Do your buildings continually glitch into or out of the ground? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Building on Steep Hills by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
And so back to Hrothgar's Folly by dbrooksjr and the shipping routes. Right, this shipping route here looks like the ships will scrape against that pillar. That's the only grumble that I have for the shipping routes. That pillar looks like scraping. Just probably. Probably, maybe, possibly. Does it matter? The ships won't notice it's there, but it's my job to be picky. I'm nitpicking. That's what I do for a living. Like, barely a living. little bit of beer money here and there, that kind of thing. Anyway, let's head back out down this way. We've seen, we've got lovely shipping triangles going on, and this one goes right through the middle of the bridge there, and right through either side of the pillar there. That's all good work. All very happy with that one. And then we have a split here, and if you have a look here, they connect up like that. Yeah, it's good work. A water flow. We have good strong water flow going past the start square. As you can see here, it's all flowing smoothly. Plenty of strength going down here, and there you go. Along this edge, plenty of water motion there. So again, stick the sewage into the water. It'll take you off the edge of the map very happily for you. Right, so the map as a whole, it's got some very nice vibes and nice features to it. We also have some very nice, I think the word vignette was used in the description. I prefer set pieces, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Very nice castle coming up here. One or two little things to talk about, but overall I really like the castle. My things I'm going to point out aren't really detracting from the castle for me. We have a look down here. We can see you've got this little footpath thing going in the side here. And if you look in the top of the castle, you can just make out, it just looks a bit weird from certain camera angles that is going on there. Also, we've got the same over here. It's almost like this one was copy and pasted in. I don't really get it. It doesn't really work for me like that. It's just a thought. But yeah, the overall aesthetics on the castle are amazing. Do like this the gateway, the way that's been done as well. Although you can't get onto the footpath at the top. You can also see the, I kind of like that, going on through the doorway, kind of. But again, if you look down from above, the way that it's done, it just looks a bit funny from certain angles. But only from certain angles. From most angles, I really like that castle. Strong castle, very aesthetically pleasing castle. The bottom of the hill, we have the old village, which you quite often had at the bottom of the hill, at the bottom of the castles. And a little cemetery going on there as well. I'm quite taken by said little village. And also, I'm guessing this is where the old port used to be. And yes, it's been flooded. I think this is deliberately done. I buy into that one. There's a little bit of terrain glitching along the side of the castle. But again, I can kind of get around that one. It's not the best, but actually, I don't dislike it enough to want to vote it down. The Essential Lighthouse, of course, the Essential Lighthouse, because it's essential. And if we head up into these hills, we've got up here, we've got another little vignette, another little castle up there as well, just dotted in there, completely overgrown. Liking the shapes of the hills. Again, for somebody who made Blade Mountain, you would like the shapes of most of the hills. Some of them I find a bit bland, but mostly are very nicely well done indeed. And of course, we've got a great theme in the Not So Rocky. River, we've got a fairly strong, nice river. Plenty of rock detailing along each side, and it looks like it's a rocky area. It's believably rocky. And then that heads out and down and into the sea. And I think it's this river here, quite like the hint towards the sandbanks going on underneath there. Very nice little bit of terrain work under there to give a hint of a delta. Very nice, that one. Just little bits of credit here and there where they due. Somewhere we have this island over here. This is worth checking out. So we've got the rock falls coming down and into the sea, but we're going to see something that we've not seen before. I think this is very cleverly done. Yes, we've seen shipwrecks before. Yes, we've seen steam vents before, and yes, we've seen containers before. But look at the undersea detailing. It looks like it's like an oil leak there by not painting the sand in underneath. I think that, I don't know if it was by design, I'm going to say it is. because that is very neat indeed. I'd call that a what map first, an oil leak using vanilla assets. Very well done. Anyway, then if we head over here, we've got a little lake over here, very nice, and also a start square somewhere through these trees. Where is it? There it is. Start square through these trees, all the way down through the highway into the This is where you're going to be building, and this is where we've got a building. It's the asset of the day, and it's the mid-1880s Queen Anne by Dudemeister. Now, there are a couple of Queen Annes already on the workshop, so if you're looking to actually do this style of architectural little neighbourhood, then there's going to be plenty of opportunities, and I think this Dudemeister's work here is right up there with what we've seen already. Factoids, of course, factoids because factoids. The human nervous system can relay messages to and from the brain at speeds of up to 200 miles an hour. Which makes you think, actually, if you are 6'5" tall and get your foot stamped on, you find out much later than when somebody who's 2'8" like me gets their foot stamped on. The moral to the story is don't go stamping on any feet. The mid-1880s Queen Anne by Dudemeister. That is very lovely work indeed. Thanks, dude. Thanks. Okay, let's pull back and have a look at where we can settle this camera down. And while we find a good location to have a good final view, I'll ask you, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen. Take it to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or even a Patreon account. But what do I think of it? It's a good return. It's a strong return. Doesn't blow me away aesthetically. It's not like Blade Mountain where you just go like, whoa. There are some very nice 4-star areas. Overall, I don't really feel it quite earns that 4th star overall. It's a very strong 3-star map, and I think it's going to give you some quite nice visuals for your city build. Detailing on the whole is pretty strong. I was going to give it 4 stars, but then with so many trees on that secondary location, it feels like I have to bring it down to high 3. So high 3 for detail. Gameplay potential, pretty nice, I've got to say, pretty nice. Doesn't really grab me fully, but I can still see that it's a very good gameplay map. So I'm going to go 4 stars. I'm going to go middly low 4. It's still fine. It's still perfectly fine. If you decide to play on this one, you're not going to be disappointed. Hrothgar's Folly by dbrooksjr. What a great return by D Brooks. 2 years. Don't make it 2 years to the next one. I know that your next map, now that you're back in the mold and back in the creation, you can do something a lot. I mean, come on, Blade Mountain. You are Blade Mountain. Anyway, if you're still here, thank you very much for still being here. You use the word of the day to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite into the comments to score yourself some population points just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Thanks very much, and I'll see you, of course, very, very soon. Now, what's next for me to do?